Welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday, so it's time for Talking Kids with Dr. Caitlynn. Dr. Caitlynn Iddings, a Lexington pediatrician, is with us this morning, as always.
And today we're going to talk about food insecurities in children in Kentucky. Good morning, Doc. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, this is a topic that is a reality across our state. So how do you want to start to discuss this morning?
So basically what we just wanted to bring attention to today, this is that time of year when Thanksgiving's coming up, right? Just next week. For most kids, that's an exciting time of year. They get to go see family and have big meals. But there is a good percentage of our population where those children are like, I'm going to go home and I'm not going to get school lunch. I'm not going to get school breakfast. I may not get a meal, you know. And so in Fayette County, 15% of children are considered food insecure, which means they may not get a meal if we don't, you know, help them out. And so, and that can range from 15% here in Fayette County all the way up to 30% in other places in like Eastern Kentucky. So it really is a big problem. And we really do want to make sure that the best thing that you can do for your child is to teach them empathy and teach them to help others, right? So this is a good time of year where a lot of schools are having their canned food drives, and they make it like this fun competition where which class can bring the most canned food in. And God's Pantry, of course, is looking for donations. They're kind of one of our biggest food distribution centers here in Lexington. And then there's always, you know, community things just in your general community where you can kind of look around. There's community cafes that distribute to food insecure. So it's really a good thing, and a good thing to do with your children to say, hey, you know, we're gonna go take we're gonna go to the store, we're gonna get extra cans. Sometimes even like at our Kroger, I know there was someone sitting there just saying, these are the items that the food pantry needs. Just taking that little thing, going around with your kid and say, okay, let's find these things that we can come back and, you know, drop off here. And it's that easy, right?
Yeah, they do make it really, really
simple.
easy. Sometimes at certain grocery stores, they'll go ahead and have a bag with those items in there that you just simply pay for. Yeah. And then they take it to, you know, the food distribution center or something like that.
Unfortunately, it's more prevalent than people realize. Because, you know, my dad was a principal in Clark County for a while, and he was 90% free lunch. So he was well aware of the kids that weren't getting fed properly outside of school. Yeah. And that's got to have an impact, not only on learning, but their health as they develop into adults, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing about food insecurity. We know that these kids have higher adverse health outcomes because they aren't getting the nutrition that they need to kind of grow and play and do the things that normal kids should be able to do, right? And so it is really a big problem. Like I said, Kentucky is, I think, 45th. We're like in the top 5 as far as children who are food insecure. Like I said, a lot of those counties kind of in the eastern part of the state are the ones where we have more. Clark County is one of them, Harlan, Wolf. But it's still something that's close to home too. It's something that anyone who's in any community can kind of look around, see where they can volunteer, see where they can help. Sometimes it's also a transportation issue because it's not necessarily, you know, that their food isn't at the food bank. It's that, well, if you can't buy food, it's also kind of hard to buy gas and even be able to get to these places to get the food to bring it back to your family. So a good thing just to remind your kids this time of year is, you know, because my daughter, when I was talking to her about this yesterday, she says, I don't think there's anyone in my class like that, Mom. And I'm like, well, they probably wouldn't, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, a lot of times it can be an unseen,
even in Woodford County, which is a fairly small county population compared to Fayette, you know, it's saying 12% of kids. So I'm like, she's got a class of 25, probably 1 or 2 kids, you know, that are probably food insecure even in her class. So, you know, talk to your children about this. Make sure you're encouraging them and showing them, you know, the holiday spirit and looking out for others.
Yeah. Absolutely, because this can be a great teaching moment for kids, teaching them at a young age to give back, be aware of people who are in need around you, but also as an adult, this time of year, you know, we're all so busy throughout the year, you may forget there are ways that you can give back to people in need in your community. If you're looking for a way to give back this holiday season, donating to a viable food bank in your community, God's Pantry, someone we've worked with a lot, an amazing organization. They can stretch $1 and provide food for so many people with so little. So if you can donate to that food, but also funding as well. And then they have those backpack programs at different schools where they send food home with children on the weekends.
And with inflation, I know my mom's church, they do a backpack program, and she's like, it's become so much harder just to get the basic food that we put in those backpacks because food prices are so much higher. So making sure you reach out to local religious communities. A lot of them do a lot of great work in the community too, to where you could say, oh, well, maybe I don't have time to come pack the backpacks, but maybe I have time to give a little money so that they can get the supplies they need.
Well, good information. Dr. Caitlynn, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We got a final look at your forecast coming up. Plus, we'll give you something to look forward to as we get your day started. Stay with us. Good Morning Kentucky, back in just a moment.